Unit 1 summative factoring review. So today we're going to review a little bit of our factoring. So if you remember, the first thing we always look for is something you can take out. So is there any numbers that can come out of 3, 20, and 12? No. But if you also remember, we can never start with a negative. So anytime you start with a negative, you automatically have to take out like a -1, which would just change all the signs to a positive 3x squared, positive 20x, and positive 12. Okay, now you take a times c, so 3 times 12, which is 36. So we're trying to figure out what's going to multiply to 36 and add up to 20. So you can make all your list, but I'm just going to go ahead and give you the numbers. It's 2 and 18. Okay, so since everything's positive, we're going to keep 2 and 18 positive. Make our two sets of parentheses. Because it was 3x squared, I need 3x and x. And then I have to figure out which one of these two can 3 go into. Well, 3 can go into 18 6 times, so we have to put plus 6 on this side. And then our plus 2 goes on the other. Okay, but remember we divided out a negative at the beginning, so we always need to put that back out front. Let's do another one. 2x squared minus 32. So is there anything that goes into 2 and 32? Well, 2 does, so we can divide both of them by 2. Alright, and if I do that, I get x squared minus 16. Okay, so then I take a times c, so this a is like a 1, so 1 times -16 is -16. So I'm trying to figure out what multiplies to -16 and adds up to 0, because our b is 0. So that would be 4 and -4, because 4 times -4 is -16, and it adds up to 0. Okay, so I make my two sets of parentheses. Because it was x squared, we have x and x. Then put our numbers in, because there's no number here, so plus 4 and minus 4. It's okay if those are backwards. And then remember, if you divide something out, you got to put it back out front. So I'm going to put my 2 back out front. Okay, on this next one, -x squared plus 3x plus 28. Again, we look for something you can take out, which is nothing, but we can never start with a negative. So if it starts with a negative, you have to divide that -1 out, which changes all of the signs, not just the first sign, but all of them. So you get x squared minus 3x minus 28. Okay, so now that I've changed my signs, I take a times c, so 1 times -28 is -28. I have to figure out what's going to multiply to -28 and add up to -3, which is 7 and 4. And then to figure out which one I want negative, well, I want my 3 to be negative, so I need more negatives, so I'm going to make my 7 negative. Make my two sets of parentheses. Because it was x squared, I need x and x. And then there's no number, so just put your answers in, so -7 and positive 4. And again, I divided a negative at the beginning, so I need to put a negative back out front. Go ahead and try these problems.